दोस्तों इस क्लास में आपको डिक्टेशन दूंगा मैं 100 WPM पर एसएससी और DSSSB के लिए जो स्पेशल मैटर मैंने तैयार किए हैं उसकी आपको डिक्टेशन प्रोवाइड कर रहा हूं 100 WPM पर। बी रेडी फॉर इट।
Mr. President, sir, I am opposed to both the amendments moved by both the members. The question of naming of a province has assumed very great importance, greater importance than honorable members would like to attach even to the question of creation of a new province or increasing or diminishing the area of any province. For Shri Pataskar's amendment suggests that if the Governor General passes an order changing the name of a province only, he must consult the provincial legislature before passing the order, and Shri Sidhwa's amendment seeks that even after the order is passed by the Governor General changing the name of a province, it should be placed before the Parliament, and the Parliament should have the right to accept or reject the order previously made by the Governor General. In the case of any other order passed by the Governor General under Section 290, creating a new province, changing the boundaries of an existing province, may be quietly accepted by the country as a whole, with neither the legislature of that province being consulted nor the Parliament having the right of say in the matter. It appears to me rather fantastic that the question of change of name should be considered so vitally important, whereas the more vitally important question relating to the creation of a province should not attract any attention of honorable members at all. I must submit that the manner in which the United Provinces has been dragged in this controversy hurts us, because we of the United Provinces had always thought that we have been throughout acting in a manner which would receive the approbation of the rest of the country. As my honorable friend Mr. Mohan Lal had said, there is absolutely no provincialism in our province, and we had therefore thought that some credit would be given to us by members of other provinces, and they would give us at least the freedom of giving a suitable name to our province. I was mentioning it just incidentally, sir. I would not pursue it in view of the shortness of time. My objection is to Mr. Pataskar's amendment, firstly on the ground that it simply does not fit in with Section 290, and then that if it is accepted as it is worded, it would simply set the legislature against the government of the province and the government against the legislature, for Mr. Pataskar does not want to make any amendment to the proviso to Section 290 of the Government of India Act, which says that before an order under that section is passed by the Governor General, the provincial government should be consulted. According to the proviso, the views of the government of the province should be ascertained. Now, what Mr. Pataskar suggests is that the views of the legislature should also be ascertained. Therefore, it comes to this, that firstly, the views of the legislature should be ascertained, and thereafter, under the proviso, the views of the government should be also ascertained. If it is presumed that the views of the government and those of the legislature will not be different, the amendment of Mr. Pataskar will be unnecessary and redundant. Well, if there are such instances, we, sitting here in the Constituent Assembly, should not give encouragement for such differences of opinion. Our object should be to bring about conciliation between the legislature and the government, and not to create further occasions for such differences of opinion. Therefore, I submit that the amendment simply does not fit in here. As regards the amendment moved by Mr. Sidhwa, I would say that Mr. Sidhwa has a very fertile brain and he can conceive of all sorts of amendments. But I never thought that even he is capable of conceiving an amendment of this kind, which is almost meaningless. He suggests that the order of the Governor General should be placed before Parliament and that Parliament should have the right either to accept it or reject it. Of course, it would not have any power to amend the order. It can only either accept the name which has been approved by the Governor General or reject it. Now, what will happen if the name proposed in the order is rejected by Parliament? That will create a lacuna. Therefore, I suggest that Mr. Sidhwa's amendment is almost meaningless. Then again, this amendment of Mr. Sidhwa is that it should be added to existing proviso. It means that the amendment of Mr. Sidhwa would apply to all the orders which would be passed by the Governor General under Section 290, such as those relating to the creation of a new province, changing the boundaries of a province, etc. I do not think it is the intention of Mr. Sidhwa that his amendment should be of such an all-embracing nature. But as it has been worded, it would be applicable to all the orders passed by the Governor General under Section 290. I think Mr. Sidhwa has not given careful consideration of his amendment. On reconsideration, I am sure he will not press it. For these reasons, I oppose both these amendments. It seems to me that both these suggestions are impracticable. As to the general proposition whether Parliament should be brought in or not, we have to deal with two matters. One is that there is a general desire on the part of some of the provinces that the names by which they have been called under the Government of India Act 1935 do not smell sweet according to them, and they would like to begin with the names which they think are good enough for them on the date on which the Constitution commences. The Constituent Assembly felt at the time when the matter was discussed last time that this desire of some of the provinces whose names are not good enough in their own opinion has a good case, and Therefore, a provision ought to be made for the Governor General before the commencement of this Constitution to take such action. Stop. दोस्तों इसी के साथ ये डिक्टेशन फिनिश होती है। उम्मीद है आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छे से लिखा होगा। कंटिन्यू मेहनत करते रहिए। आपसे मुलाकात करूंगा अगली क्लास में अगली ट्रांसक्रिप्शन के साथ। तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टेक केयर।